भवामहे नामुपवश्रवस्तवं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणास्वत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिसीदसादनं महागणपतये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्य मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफले हेतुर्भो मा ते संगोत्स्वकर्मणि। श्रीहरिं परमानन्दम् उपदेष्टारमीश्वरं व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्। I heartily welcome you to this Guruvara. Guruvara is two things are happening. One is for you is a Guru Sangha. For me is Guru Seva. So we are connected with a common grace called Guru. Today we are going to discuss something important related to our understanding of sadhana and trying to find out the source of emotions. As in Prana Vidya, we all know that the important role of Prana Vidya, important role of emotions and its influence in our life. The last session, we tried to understand about the Prithvi Tattva, which is connected to Mooladhara, which is a connection between Pindanda and Brahmanda, to the microcosm and to the macrocosm. And the earth capacity is to hold, to hoard, to hold, to capture. So that when this Prithvi Tattva is more in us, we try to hold things within us. So when we try to hold things, we become insecure. To become secure, we try to hold people around us, the property around us, the wealth around us. And that insecurity, we understood that it is not a born nature of the self. It is the mental character. It is the projection of the mind as we have grown. And this condition of being insecure is the projection of the cultural condition, the societal condition upon us. Everything is connected to your Mooladhara chakra. Now to understand certain aspect of ourselves, our Jivatman is residing in the second point of awareness. That second point of awareness is Swadhisthana chakra. Swadhisthana means Swa Adhisthana chakra. This is where your Jivatman is in the energy grid. So we must understand what kind of sadhana that we should take in to achieve. Before the sadhana, we must have a clarity what is our path is all about. What is my path? What I want to become? Where I am headed towards? This clarity must be taken in our life. Then we should understand sadhana. This word is commonly used in our spiritual world that I am in sadhana, I am doing a sadhana, I want to do a sadhana. To do anything, you cannot do anything without knowing. Without knowing, doing will not happen. Without knowing, doing will not happen. If you want to cook something, so cooking must be known. If you want to live, life must be known. So knowing can only lead you doing. but we jumped on doing itself without knowing. So in entire our life, meet a mundane life, professional life, personal life, or a spiritual life, it is mandatory that what I want to do, I should be backed up with knowingness. So to become a lawyer, you must know the law. To become an engineer, you must know the engineering. The same with to become a wife or a husband, mother or a father, you must know what it is. These are all adjectives in our life. Okay. But one must be understanding, one must have this understanding to differentiate between, if I say there is a physics book, then one must know it has two elements in it. One is book and second one is physics. So in our life, what all things that you want to become, what are the things that you want to become, it is already you are. Ultimate thing that you want to become, you don't need an adjective, you are already that. Because we don't own the self, we try to become something else. We don't own the self, we try to become something else, and that something else has brought only suffering, not the satisfaction. So who you are, you don't need to become. So from journey becoming to being is actual spiritual journey. From becoming, we have to stop becoming, because whatever you have become is eventually perished in time. And from becoming to being is the journey, and to accomplish this journey, you need sadhana. Now, we have to be very careful with the words that we hear. We have to be very careful with the word we speak. We have to be understandable with the word we come across, because these words spill the magic. These words project the magic. If I say a moon, for a physicist, if I say the moon, he will think of certain combination of chemicals, some rock. If I say a moon to a poet, he will write a poetry on the moon. For him is, when the moon word is uttered, he will perceive something else. For a philosopher, when we say moon, he will say, you say moon, he understands emotions. You say moon, but he understands emotions. The word moon magically brings him an understanding of emotion. For a devotee, when I uttered a word moon, he will say Chandra Chuda. You say moon, he think of Shiva. So words are very much important. Now, if we are stuck outside, these words will mean only outside. So we must raise our frequency, our understanding, so that each word, what it means, that should be grasped. So that is why in a Vedanta, it starts with adhama. The adhama. What is adhama? The knowledge is brought to a person who can understand very little, or to his understanding of physicality, or his level of understanding of mentality. Then there is a madhyama. The same knowledge is presented to the madhyama person. His understanding of the knowledge, his capacity to accept, digest the truth will enhance. when it is presented to the Uttama, then the holy book will fall short to one word, maximum two words, Tat Tvam Asi, Aham Atma Brahma. So for them, they don't need any explanation. Now they have an ability to perceive. So I want to bring a kind attention to all of you to understand the words that will enlighten us the path. For example, sadhana, when the word we use sadhana, we must understand what this sadhana is all about. Once I use the word sadhana, everyone are aware of the word sadhana. But sadhana means. Sadhana means an instrument. And what is the sadhana? The sadhana is eyes. You have to use your eyes to see me. The eyes become sadhana. And you have no choice. You have no choice but to use the eyes to see me. The same way to hear, you need ear, right? The sadhana is, the instrument is, the means is ear. From ear, you can hear or you can listen. You can hear or you can listen. What I am aiming at you is to understand certain things. We need to have certain sadhana. Few things we need our sense organs to understand. To few concepts, few truths, few Vedas, ultimate reality, to understand we may need mind as a sadhana. Okay, mind as a sadhana. Then we need intellect as a sadhana. Okay, so what sadhana I am applying for what must be understood. Okay, so here in every Guruvara we use a sadhana called Shravana sadhana. Shravana. Now, once we hear Shravana, we normally heard that Shravana means hearing. Maybe when you put mind, it's called listening. To hear, you just need an ear, that's enough. But to know what you are hearing, you need mind. But Shravana is something beyond. Shravana means what you heard, that should be understood, not to be recognized. Cognize, recognize, everything is with a part of the mind. But the word should illuminate. When that word is illuminated, then we call it as Shravana. Okay, which means every person, every yogi or a siddha or a guru, he got Shravana Shakti, which means an ability to illuminate the word heard. Okay, an ability to illuminate the word heard. So that is why it said, Acharyavan Purushaha Vedaha. One who can see the word as it is, not as the mind wants it to be, not as the word is being heard, the word as it is. Because we are going to discuss on many wonderful truths about reality, which will help us to deal with the life that we are dealing with, which is full of miscommunication, misunderstood. Okay, to understand that we need to use certain sadhana. So certain understanding has to be developed. The first understanding, the instrument, the sadhana that we use is Shravana. Shravana. So whatever the word that we use, it should illuminate what that word is, So we do the Shravana sadhana. Then if we have really heard that word, it should be a part of your system. Then it becomes manana. Manana means that should give you new insight. That should open you the way you see the world. Same Prithvi Tattva, same Jala Tattva, same Agni Tattva. We are speaking from many years. If I say Gayatri Mantra, we have heard of Gayatri Mantra from 30 years. But has it illuminated anything inside? Are we hearing the same mantra and again and again? Has it been a process with a sadhana called Shravana? Has the same words gave you any illumination which made you to contemplate, that is manana? So contemplation happens, it's a formula, it's a process, it's a beautiful process where words also communicate and absence of words will also communicate. Okay. So more you drift from word to no words, from sound to silence, more contemplation will happen. For us right now, our understanding is contemplation is mental chattering. Oh, that is not contemplation. Contemplation is word illuminated should be brought into an understanding. Then that will drift into a silence. That silence will illuminate. The illumination happens in the silence is called nididhyasana. Nididhyasana. This preamble is needed to understand. Then we call it as Satya Sadhana. Your path will get illuminated, or else we keep on listening, reading, listening, reading with our ears, and it will be in the physical level. So that is why in the olden days people used to say it means if you really hear it from the ear, you are limiting that knowledge to only surface level of physicality. It has not crawled inside. It has not crossed your mind. So one word is enough for you to get enlightened, to understand, to explore. These, whatever I am sharing, it is not only related with the spiritual understanding, it is also needed for your mundane life. When you are communicating with each other, what they want to say, what is that you are hearing. If this communication happens, if the harmony comes under the communication, then communicating with you and yourself, communicating with your inner self to the first self, your Antaratman to Paramatman can be established. And this is what I have realized, that this should be the preamble of understanding. So we have always believed in our ears, five sense organs. We always believed in the mind. We always believed some name and form. We disowned ourselves. We have not understood that I am the self. So you don't need to become something else because you are already that. You don't need to become liberated one because you are already liberated one. You must understand what is imprisoning you. So from here onwards, we will slowly understand the difference between the words that throw. For example, suffering and sorrow. Suffering and sorrow. Kashta mattu dukkha. Kashta mattu dukkha. Suffering belongs to the physicality. Kashta dehakke sambandha pattirodu. Dukkha manasige sambandha pattirodu. Suffering belongs to the physicality. Sorrowful belongs to the mentality. So are you stuck with the suffering? Are you stuck with the sorrowfulness? That should be found. For those who are suffering with kashta, then they'll search for sukha, pleasure. Those who understand dukkha, sorrowfulness, then they'll search for ananda, not pleasure, the bliss. And those who all got enlightened, they were not suffering at all. They were not suffering at all. They were finding a solution for the sorrowness. Dukkha vimukti. Kashta, they have not. See, you look at Buddha, Rama, Krishna, they have not suffered like us. And their worry is not about suffering. But something was haunted them. So they went behind to find the solution for dukkha. Dukkha related to humans or the nature or the consciousness. So to understand where are we now, we are stuck in the second point of awareness called Swadhisthana Chakra. Swadhisthana Chakra. Our Jivatman is stuck. Not in Prithvi Tattva. Prithvi Tattva is Mooladhara. So we are stuck in Swadhisthana Chakra, which deals with Jala Tattva. So when we say Jala Tattva, our civilization started wherever there is a river. So from there, he tried to understand the life. Till then, he was in the mountains. Guddagadu Manisha. Kadu Manisha. He didn't understand the value of life. Only the survival was there. When he came in touch with water source, then something new dimension started coming in his life. So when we were learning in Pranavidya the importance of emotions, I went in search of the source, trying to find first of all why does the emotion arises. So all the drama happens only when emotion arises. What if he can stop the source of emotion which gives rise? So in that search, I found, which was illuminated by Upanishads also, that these emotions arises in Swadhisthana Chakra, but the cause lies still in Mooladhara Chakra. What cause lies upon? What is the reason for emotion to arise? Emotion, if you trace back, all your emotions arises because of four things: ahara, nidra, maithuna, bhaya. Ahara, food; nidra, sleep; maithuna, procreation; and bhaya, fear. Our emotions arises because of this, to fulfill this. Our insecurity is because of this. Security, I want to find security, that is the aspect of the fear. Fear. I need food. I need to procreate. I need sleep. These are all basic fundamental needs. And we are stuck in these fundamental needs. The fourth one is bhaya, fear, insecurity. So as a human beings, we need to fight or understand or rise beyond these needs. When we have got the body, we have got an ability for all these things. Three is natural, connected to the body: food, sex, sleep, And fourth one is insecurity, which created all these complications in our life. The day this fear is stuck in Swadhisthana Chakra, sacral chakra. What kind of fear I have? Why does this fear has come? The only way to get liberated from the cycle of birth and death is to come out of fear. Anything one wants to conquer is not his ego, but the fear. If you have conquered the fear, you are immortal. Coming to work on the fear, there are people, fellow beings, are still stuck with the food, still stuck with the sleep. They are not living, they are just sleeping all over their life. Many people's interest, worry is all about food. Many people are stuck with procreation. And everyone are behind with a rat race of security and dealing every day with insecurities. If you look back, God has given everything. But this deception, illusion of insecurity has caused us, the fear gave rise to the desire. This fear gave rise to the desire. And we are all behind fulfilling those desires. Everyone are behind fulfilling the desires. And these desires and fulfilling desires are like drinking salt water when you are thirsty. And each desire is giving rise to the more desires. It is like Agni. It is lighting more fire. Why desires? Because I have a fear. And we have so much of fear. It is lurking from inside. It is still Valagadiya, Naduka, Agabariya, Baya Ide. The trembling is there inside. The fear strokes are inside. That is why when we ask you to meditate, when you close your eyes, you encounter your fear, then you open your eyes. You don't like to close. Inside there is no Atman, inside there is a fear. That is why we want to always open our eyes, get engaged outside the world. This or that, this or that. Because fundamentally we are vibrating fears. We are projecting the fears in our relationship, in our thought, in our emotions. This should be understood. That made us to get engaged in the outside world. All the solution lies within ourselves. But we are not ready to go inside ourselves because fear is starting there, which is scaring us to go outside. But we don't understand, we are dying in many ways. We are dying in many ways. The death that we fear the most. The death that we fear the most. But we never realize the only truth is death. Only the immortal truth, that which is sure, is death. When someone dies, we fall above. We think we are eternal. No, we are not eternal. It is only the timeline. The actual death happens later, but we die before that. This death happens because of the fear. Because of the fear, we develop desires. So, Ajnana, Kama, Karma. And this is what the Vedanta gives you. Ajnana kama karmani. Because of ignorance, you develop desires, and because of desires, you do karma. Because you have done karma, you take birth again. When you take a birth again, why you have taken a birth, you don't know, ignorance. So you develop a desire. To fulfill the desire, you will do the karma, and you are in this cycle of ajnana kama karma. Now from these 5,000 years or many lifetimes, is any one desire has fulfilled, got the contentment? Is desire is where the pleasure is, where pleasure is in desire? Is it in the desire, or is it in the object of desire? So if I say object of desire, then gulab jamun should give me the pleasure. If gulab jamun has a pleasure point, then what about the 10th gulab jamun if I ask you to eat? For few people, 2 is enough. Third, they realized. Yogis. For few people, even they eat 5, 6, 7, 8. If we give 10th one also, they say, no, I don't want. So what was the object of desire? Now it's the object of pain. Anything that we have took in our life as an object of desire, oh, this is I want in my life, then this gives me pleasure, this is I want, and whatever you got, that has become a point of pain. I don't want to mention marriage. Now I can understand very well. So someone's dream, I don't want to discourage others, those who want to get married. So I want you also get married so that you can also compensate with us. So any object of your desire that you desired, it's so beautiful house, you bought a house, you built a house, now you have to pay the EMI, or color is gone, you have to repair the house. What was the once the object of pleasure, now that has become the object of pain. So what is this then? Vedanta beautifully gives one story. There was a hungry dog, very much hungry. It goes in search of food, and he gets one dry bone. It is hungry. So it picks up the bone, starts chewing the bone. Because bone was very hard, it scratched its mouth and blood started oozing out. Now dog is very happy to lick its own blood. Then I met that dog and I asked, what are you eating? It says meat. Meat? It looks like you are eating a bone. It was a bone before. Now it is a meat because I can taste it. How do you say it is a meat? Because when I started, it started becoming melting in my mouth. It is not aware that it is only licking its own blood. It thinks that it has come out from that dry bone. So who will make the understand that dog, that whatever you are licking is your own essence? So then I started experimenting with gulab jamun. Because what made gulab jamun sweet is my own essence. If there was a sweetness in the gulab jamun, 10th one, 15th gulab jamun or 20th gulab jamun should have same content, same sugar, same pleasure giving. No. And I experimented with couple of other things. And I got realized, I am the essence of Ananda. I am the essence of Sukha. I am the essence of pleasure. These objects are like dry bone. That's it. Then my attention started coming inside me. Then I realized, oh, 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 so much of emotions within me, which are all interconnected, Once started opening one by one, I have a jealous, why this jealous has come? I have a lobha, greed, why this greed has come? I have a anger, why this anger has come? Initially, we got so confused with so many emotions. And slowly I found the source of all emotions, that survival. Anyway, you will survive. But the source of emotion came to the one powerful emotion called desires, kama karmani, desires. When desires got fulfilled, I got garva. So when desires didn't fulfill, I got matsara. So more access of desires, kamaha krodho vijayate. This desires, once it is not fulfilled, I got angry. Right now, we are all aware of the anger. Just write down the reason of your anger. The reason of your anger is things could not fulfill the way I wished for. Things didn't manifest the way I wanted. So, Satvika level, you say I prayed for it. Rajasic level, you say I want for it. Then Tamasic level, you say I desired for it. The way I wanted, things didn't manifest. Without realizing that life is not happening the way I want. Maybe certain percentage is within my conscious control. I'm saving your time. Buddha realized that only few things which is in my conscious control I can work on, and 90% it is not in my conscious control. That I have to be in harmony with. So once you also realize this krodha, because my kama has not fulfilled. Kama means desires, not fulfilled. And now predominantly we are in only two emotions, anger and desire. Anger and desires. The rest will flare up based on the graph that you are dealing with. Okay. But what you have to work on yourself is anger and desire. Kamaha krodho vijayat. This is why desire has aroused, because of the fear. Why fear? Because of the animal nature within us. We are still thinking that we are animals. When we say animals, four things becomes dominant: food. But I have to rise beyond the food. Sleep. I want to rise behind the sleep. You heard yogis, they don't eat much. They eat what is needed for survival. They don't sleep much. Whatever the relaxation needed to the body. Okay. Procreation is they removed. Here we don't talk about right or wrong. What is right, what is wrong, we are not talking about. We are talking about what is appropriate and what is inappropriate. Sexual desires, which is a hormonal releases, it should be fulfilled in given time, not beyond that. Not beyond that. You must eat your food timely. That's what doctor says. Untimely eating will create a disease. Untimely sexual indulgence will create a disease. Untimely sleep will create a disease. So we are not talking about right and wrong. We are talking about appropriateness and inappropriateness. What is important to what time, what age, that what is that I'm racing around? What is that I'm fear of? Why I'm creating this desire? So we are in predominantly two emotions. One is anger, second one is desire. Anger is destroying all our energy and relationship and the harmony. And desires has three powerful influence over you. This desire has three powerful influence over you. One is Asha, second one is Moda, third one is Pramoda. Asha, Moda, Pramoda. What are these three things? Asha, I desire. Oh, I will get gulab jamun. I'll be always in that. Oh, I will get gulab jamun. I'm going to their house. I will get gulab jamun. I'm going to that marriage. I'm going to eat gulab jamun. You're constant in that asha, desires. Then moda. You are eating gulab jamun. You are eating gulab jamun. Then pramoda. You are in that memory of eating gulab jamun. You are in that memory of eating gulab jamun. So you are never away from gulab jamun itself. You are never away from the grip of desires. Either you are desiring or you are enjoying the object of desire, or you are in that hope or imagination of having that memory of that desire. That's it. So you are trapped. You are not literally living. So if you want to really live, fear comes and catches you. If you want to avoid fear, so you want to imagine the desires, or you start desiring. And you know that it is impermanent, it will come and it will go. So what will happen then? How can I live? Because if I close my eyes, I'll go inside. There is a fear vibration inside me because I have never accepted my fears. So I try to imagine to be in the good. So 90% I live in imagination, not in reality. So I end up having a passive anger or a active anger. That is why Krishna said, what are the solution? He gave a solution for karma. He gave a solution for the final thing that you are caught up with. That is karma. Why you have done karma? Because you have kamana, desire. Why you had a desire? You don't know. Ignorance. Ajnana kama karma. Then he said, drop all the desires. Buddha said, drop all the desires. Now we say with all the common sense, if I drop the desire, who will feed our children, sir? Who will pay the electricity bill, sir? So then Buddha said, you talk to Krishna. And Krishna said, okay, okay, don't drop anything. Karmanyavadhikarasya ma phaleshu kadachana. You go on doing your karma, whatever you know, whatever is best, good for you and others. Go on doing that. If it is belongs to you, it will stay with you. If it doesn't belong to you, it will go. No, sir. When 15 years back, so we are living in the past. Then past is all about regrets. Future is all about that desires, hopes, imaginations. So we are trapped in the mesh matrix of emotions, and every emotions has come from Muladhara Chakra, and Muladhara Chakra, 4 basic emotions are sleep, food, procreation, and insecurity, fear. Maybe we might have raised in the civilized condition. Now we have no problem with food. God's grace. We don't have a problem with sleep. Those many people are living in AC with a comfortable house, but they are not getting any sleep, good sleep. There is now new department in the hospital. Okay, it is called sleep apnea. So many desires are taking a birth because you are not sleeping well. So procreation, either we are sick, if not insecurity. So we must handle Muladhara Chakra to understand Swadhisthana Chakra. Swadhisthana Chakra, you know that you got stuck in fear and sexual desires or desires. Then how to get rid of fear? by understanding who you are. That is the only solution. When we say Atma Sakshatkara Vijnana, Atma Sakshatkara, you are an Atman, there is a Paramatman, know thyself, all these slogans, why? To come bring you out of this vicious cycle of birth and death, which is happening because of ignorance, because of karma done, motivated by the desires. Desires are impregnant with ignorance. So only solution to know thyself, to know yourself, to know your true self. To know the true self, I need sadhana, instrument. So, and I need a way. I need a way, a path. If I ask you a question, what you want in your life, we say we want to be happy. We want to be happy. And we are searching this happiness outside. Like the dog is searching for that sweetness of blood in the dry bone. We are trying to find the happiness outside with objects, with people around, without understanding that I have the essence of happiness, unbroken happiness called Ananda. So Swadhisthana Chakra, it has 6 petals. Second point of awareness, which is a matrix of your life, which has imprisoned your Jivatman, and you are stuck within these 6 petals called Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, and Matsara. All our life running, ticking around these 6 major Arishad Vargas. Our emotions, we are trapped in this. And everything originated by Kama only. Kama is not fulfilled, Krodha. Kama fulfilled, Lobha. Someone has it something that I don't have, Matsara. And there is a Moha, I want more. So we are trapped in this. We need to come out of this. So we need to use the right, we need to walk in a right path. We need to use the right instrument, sadhana. So Kama, is it related to physicality? Kama, is it related with emotional needs, or is it related with mentality, the mental zones? We must first discriminate between our desires. What is that I want? Because that want will change based on your age. An old person, he doesn't need all that the young person, adolescent person demands. At least we request people who are older that due to grace you got older. Even if you want to desire, things will not happen. Naturally, all your 5 senses will withdraw. You know who is the yogi? This reminds me, I visited one house and they took me directly to the old woman of that house, the owner of the house. She was 96-year-old woman. And when that the grandson went and woke up the grandmother, so with all difficulty he woke her up, and then she got up from the bed, put the glass, then she put her dental fix, I mean what you Hallin set, dental set. Then she put her hearing aid. Then she used her crutches and came out. Then then that was a revelation for me. She was in a happiest condition. Now to come to the world, she started putting a ear, the glass, eyes, and now denture, dental health, set, and walker. We are also like that. When we wake up, we don't put, it is already there. We just activate it. Okay. And as age progresses, God helps you. Now we say, I don't watch much TV. I know your eyes is not working. That is why you are not watching. 10 years back, you are watching all the serials. That to Crime Story at 11 o'clock. Now eyes are now blurred. You can't watch. So you say it is Vairagya. No, it is not Vairagya. The desire is still lurking in the mind. So yogi is the one who consciously switches off these sadhanas, instruments. So I should understand about the sadhana, instrument with which I am dealing with life. What should be sharpened, what should be dimmed. And when this discrimination ability comes, we can balance the life. Otherwise, all our life is futile effort of fulfilling the desires which is perishable in nature. ಇಚ್ಛಾ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಹೋರಾಟ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆ ಇಚ್ಛೆಗಳು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. Yes. So this is about your Swadhisthana chakra, where all your energies, where all yourself is stuck with. We need to come out of this by way of understanding, by way of Shravana. Shravana means whatever has been heard should get eliminated in yourself. And that can only be happen when you invoke the inside Guru, Arive Guru. The awareness is your Guru. So to whomever the Shravana has happened, they have invoked the inner Guru so that whatever has been heard got illuminated. And whatever got illuminated has come under understanding. Then that has become an contemplation, manana, and it has been adopted, realized in nididhyasana. So doing, you cannot do anything, may it meditation or may it samsara. So doing can happen only with the help of knowing. And knowing can be done with using something called sadhana. Shravana sadhana, manana sadhana, nididhyasana sadhana. So to whomever you listen to, whatever you read, that should get illuminated inside yourself. Till then, the journey will not start within yourself. Yeah. Questions? Any practical questions if you have? Good. So if you don't have practical questions, so two things are proved. One is you understood whatever has been expounded upon, or nothing is been understood. So both the way it is good. So let's meditate in our Swadhisthana chakra. Just follow my words. Keep your eyes closed. Sit straight. Back straight. Bring your attention below the navel, above the genitals. Bring your awareness and attention below your navel, above the genitals. Visualize there is the ocean, the waves, since Swadhisthana chakra is connected with Mooladhara chakra, and Swadhisthana is Jala Tattva over Mooladhara chakra, Prithvi Tattva. Let us do Tattva Dharana. Now, please visualize that your both the feet are stuck under a mud in a square box. There is a square box full of mud. Your both legs are stuck from feet to knee level. Mud is stuck. That square box is yellow in color. If you could visualize, if not, it's okay. From your knee to the navel, visualize half moon, inverted half circle, where there is a water. From feet to knee is the mud, concrete mud. Both the legs are stuck, which is heaviness. You can feel the heaviness. And you can feel the fluidity from your knees to the navel. And establish a yantra called Chandra, moon, half moon, crescent moon, full of water. Waves are splashing. And all your awareness in these two yantras. And try to recall the words being heard. The main words which got your attention, illuminate it in your mind. What is your path? Do you have a clarity? What is that you are seeking? Doing needs knowing. How many things that you are doing with knowing? What are the sadhana, instrument that you use in your life? Eyes, ear, nose, mouth, skin, body, mind, emotions. These are all just instruments. Also illuminate the word disowning yourself. From disowning to owning yourself, who you are. Are you dealing with the suffering which belongs to the physicality, kashta, or are you dealing with dukkha, sorrowfulness, which belongs to the mind? Are you dealing with the fear? What kind? What are your insecurities? What are your desires? Does these desires or your needs? Are these desires or your necessities? Or these desires are just mental fantasies? Are you ready to desire that which death cannot take? Do contemplate on the desires which eventually time will take it back, death will take it back. Are you investing your energy, your emotions, your mind on the limited desires, wants, or on the self? Keep your awareness, your feet, which is firmly fixed in the mud in a square box, feet to knees, and the waves of water from knees to the navel, which is splashing, splashing. And you are illuminating all these words heard. Shavana sadhana, manana sadhana, and nididhyasana. Observe how mind is going to mislead you with doubts backing up by the ignorance, doubts projected by the ego creating illusory fears. Are you the victim of your own mind? Are you the victim of your own ignorance? Do you have a clarity about your own self? What is and what you want? Don't buy the doubts sold by the mind. Don't buy the fears sold by the mind. Be with this unknownness. more you know, more insecure you become. If you dare to be with unknownness, you are in the proximity of Hiranyagarbha or godliness. Don't buy whatever mind reminds you of. It tries to wake you up with immediate works post meditation. It drops the guilt in your consciousness or brings the theory to defeat your meditation, or the easy tool is to postpone the action of meditation. The entire world, the entire universe, everything can wait for you. Now, how mind can come and disturb you? Be cheerful inside, like a Krishna. Know that how your mind will come with what reasons, which is not so familiar with you. Identify what excuses that mind brings to you, who is the eliminator of your own mind. Be aware of your own self, which is devoid of any desires or the fear. Experience that zone of unknownness. Absence of the mind, which doesn't project any fears or desires. And this is how you take control of your life. Be aware of your mind. What is it's been occupied? Is it a guilt of the past or the desire of the future? How slowly mind occupies your awareness. Then once you are aware of it, drift back to that nothingness, into that silence, into that absence. Know how your mind enters and brings, disturbs your awareness, steals your attention. You are the illuminator of your own mind. You are the illuminator of the pain in the body or disturbance in the emotions, irritation in the mind. You're just the knower, not the known. Slowly open your eyes. ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಕಣ್ಬಿಡಿ. Slowly open your eyes. Yes, I think doubt. Someone has a doubt.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಗುರುಗಳೇ.
Ah,
ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ಇವಾಗ ಊಟ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಗಮನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರಿ. ಹೌ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್? ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಎಸ್ ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಅವೇರ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಅವರ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಬಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಟು ದಿ ಬಾಡಿ. ಅದು ಅದ್ರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಹೆಂಗೋ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಲೆಜರ್ ದಟ್ ಫುಡ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೆಜರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಲೀಪ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್. So how to look at food and how to look at sleep so that we can go beyond those two, we can raise beyond that.
okay. So this question is very much, once we understand the constitution of our body, then we can understand what kind of a food we should eat. So Ayurveda never says you should not eat a tasty food. Of course, you should eat tasty food. But what kind of taste will bring health to you? What kind of taste will bring ill health to you? Basically, we have to develop an ability of discrimination, Viveka Shakti. What food is nourishing, giving nourishing to me, or what food is leaving me into indigestion or unhealthiness. So more we are aware into our life, then slowly we take control over over on our food. So one has to introspect again and again. Is it mental behavior? Is it a habit? If it is a habit, how can I break the habit? So we have to work on the both. It cannot be stopped at once. So if it is habitual eating, then we have to slowly do the anti work, anti habit. So I eat more sweets, I eat less sweets. So then I push myself very hard to come out of this addictiveness. So am I eating out of ignorance? Am I eating out of anger? I'm eating out of fear. So what is that making me to eat? That we need to study about. Maybe this can inspire me. This question can be taken in next week, because I need minimum 1 hour to explain about the constitution of the body, what kind of the body is good for, what kind of the food is good for our body, and what is not. Once we understand, then taste is not a matter. So you can still develop the taste on a healthy food. So that maybe next week we can take up to understand what is my body is made up of, and what kind of a food I should eat. Start eating where my body feels comfortable. It will not crave for something which is destructible to the body. Yes. Right now, develop an awareness. Slowly from 100 to 90%, 90 to 80% work on your. It basically the mind which eats, and study your body which likes it or not. So before it destroys your body. Now those people who are eating too much of sweets, slowly your pancreas will start giving you the signals. After eating, you will feel the bitterness in the tongue. You feel some uneasiness in the body, and know that you are hitting diabetes. So if you are eating too much of spice, your body will give you signal. So more study about the discomfort than the comfort or a pleasure that food gives. If you have a good body which can digest all that things, don't stop eating. But if your body is suffering with that food, so you should be very careful with it. So this is not to suggest others. This I have done it. Whatever I have liked it, I have done it for a month. And nature of the body is such. If you keep doing, if I eat pani puri for continuously 1 month or a week intensely, then my body will not stand the sight of pani puri. Anything which is done excess, your body has a nature, intelligence to throw it out. So if you really want to get rid, eat so much that your body itself will throw it out. It will create a nausea when you look into that food. This is done by me, but I don't recommend to everyone. There may be some good ways to work on it. Yeah, it's like that.
Thank you, Guru.
Yeah. So more systematically, we will learn next week. We'll understand next week how to identify our body constitution with all the checkpoint and checklist, and based on that, what kind of a food I should choose, all that, and what food has, what our tongue has, what our body has. Again, it falls into the category of tattva that we are started with. We'll work on it. It's a natural question. We will take it forward to the next week. Yes. So yes, all mothers have to go and cook the food for the dinner. Thank you very much for connecting here. If any words which can inspire you, which can transform your perception, which can add into your spirit, we are very much thankful to you all. Please be connected, and whatever that you wish to know, please post it in the group so that we will address in every Guruvara. This Guruvara belongs to you. For you is Guru Sangha. Whatever you desire to know, we are ready to serve you. For me, it is Guru Seva. So let's bring knowledge as the center point of our life and live a healthy, peaceful life and spread with among the others. So thank you very much. God bless you. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. We'll meet next Guruvara. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It was a wonderful invitation, Guruji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.